Hi, this is Mr. Arnell. We're at 1103 Almac Drive and we're trying to build a house during a pandemic with a bunch of school kids. And we're in the garage right now and we're gonna do a little bit of insulating. I'm just gonna show you what we're using in this 1103 Almac house. We're using a product by Owens that is fiberglass insulation. You put it into a blower. The directions are on the back of the package right here. And we see that, if you can read upside down, you can see that it covers 46.4 square feet at R49, and that's what code is for a new home in Proctor. So we have to put it in 16 inches thick, and it expands 20 times, if you can read that upside down. And we throw it into a blower, and I'll show you the blower in a second. This is what the blower looks like. It comes in two parts. The bottom is very heavy, even for probably a football player, probably weighs 250 pounds, but we got it up the stairs here. And you just feed it in, you cut the insulation bundles in half with the utility knife, and then you just bust them, and then you stick them right in that chute right there. You insert it, there's a cutter on the left-hand side here that cuts the plastic off, and then you just pull back on the plastic, and it expands right inside that little reservoir right in there. And then we just throw the plastic right over here. And this shoots then through this hose, right here. And on the end of the hose, there's an on-off switch. So, and that's how you blow insulation. And as you can see, we just insulated the floor of the master bedroom. It looked like a snowstorm here, okay? And we're gonna take this hose now, because we've gone up our little access attic spot right there, and we marked all our trusses 16.5 inches high, and we made little marks on all the trusses. And then this guy, Nolan McLeod, went upstairs and blew it in, and I had some help. Daniel Loom and myself were the feeder people for this operation. For this attic, we started at about, I'd say 8:30ish in the morning, and it's now 12:30. So do the math, that's about 4 hours. We did a house that's 28 by 46, okay? With very little experience, I'll say. Nolan had done this once before with cellulose. And what do you think about fiberglass versus cellulose? Fiberglass is what we're using here. Cellulose, if you don't know, is chewed up paper, newspaper.
Cellulose is dusty.
Okay, and was it dusty upstairs?
No.
No, not too bad upstairs, even with a mouse.
In here either.
No, and it's very little mess except for that snowstorm we just had when we hit the on switch. So I'm gonna show you how to do this, a little live demo here in a second. Okay, you might not, well, if you can imagine, when we wired, we drilled holes through our double top plates right up there, let's say, and then right up there. And we don't want warm, moist air getting into that wall cavity. So we shoot down foam from the upper side down. Okay, the lighting might be kind of bad up here, but here's what we got going. We have a light box with a weatherproof gasket around it, and it looks pretty good. I can't see any daylight coming through there, so sometimes I squirt some spray foam around that. Sometimes when we have these penetrations like that, I squirt some foam in there, and I see that I don't see any foam in there, so I'm gonna squirt those, because we're up in the attic right now. I'm gonna squirt those. This is what I'm talking about, the double top plate. That one over there, and just shoot a little foam in there, because we can see daylight through that one because it's not insulated yet. So that's what we're gonna do first. And then I'm gonna take and mark with the 16-inch board. I'm gonna take the 16-inch 2x2, and I'm gonna make a black mark at 16.5 inches, boom, kind of on this wall, so we get 16 inches of foam on here. And we want to not spray any foam down that thing right there. This is called a proper vent or a chute vent right there. I had one year school kids decided to shoot cellulose down that cavity, so it ended up in the soffit, and that's a huge problem. You want to leave that open so you have cold air entering the attic, because what happens is you have to exhaust the heat, let's say, out of your house. So you vent your soffit, which is that white stuff on our house right here, and you see that light coming in there, that's all vented soffit right there. So, and then we have attic vents in the peak of our roof. Sometimes I push down on this just to get the agitators going a little better. And way back there is Nolan on the other side, right up in the attic. You can kind of see him. He's an attic dweller. And so he's putting it in right now, 16 inches. And this is an 8 by 10 entry area right here that we have to fill with 16.5 inches. So I cut it right there along that line, right in the center, right there. Now I'm going to stomp on it, and it kind of butts apart like this. Looks like that on the inside. You can see we're running out right there.